Hello and welcome to the Duluth News Tribune's Bulldog Insider podcast. I'm your host, Matt Wellens, the Bulldogs hockey beat reporter at the News Tribune. Zach is out on assignment this week. Our guest is from Hermantown. He's the second leading scorer. You're almost there. He's second leading scorer among defensemen in the NCAA. He's got 13 points in 12 games. I'd say that's pretty decent. Welcome back to the podcast, Ty Hanson.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Everyone making a big deal out of Zam and Max there at the top, but you're tearing it up among blue liners this season as well.
Yeah, it's they're kind of helping me out with that a little bit. Just kind of give them the puck at times and let them go.
Yeah, but you're helping them out as well, right? Like someone's got to feed those guys, Shogs and Max and Zam, the puck out there. 3 goals and 10 assists for you after a 3-assist game last Friday against St. Cloud State. I think more important than all of that, than all the stats right now for all of you guys, is the Bulldogs are 10-2 through 12 games. Number 3 in the nation in the polls. 3-1 to start NCHC play with Omaha coming to town this week. Are you guys having fun? Because that's the one thing. It looks like you guys are having fun out there.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Coming to the rink every day is super fun. We can always joke around, be ourselves at the rink. We don't have to kind of be down because we're losing. But yeah, it's been a blast. And just winning on the weekends too, it's super fun.
What does it mean to be having this success as a team early on in this season, especially what you guys went through last year and some other guys in the team have gone through maybe the previous 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, I grew up in this community, and watching UMD win national championships it's kind of why everyone wants to come here, and they want to throw that jersey on and play at the biggest stage. And the past couple of years haven't been where Duluth wanted to be, and we're just happy to be able to start to change that around with the start we've had.
Take me through your off season. What has helped you individually have the success that you're having that has then helped your teammates have the success that they're having out there?
I think just the consistency that all of us have put in throughout the off season. I stayed here with a couple guys over the summer, and we just skated and working out together. Some pro guys come back, so skating with them and picking their brain on different things is pretty useful too. Picking guys like Neil Pionk and Dylan Sandberg, who've had successful careers in the NHL and also at Duluth, and just seeing what they do on and off the ice and trying to pick little things that I can take into my game and implement into the season. You were skating up in Hermantown all summer there. Who was all in that group? Like, what's the dynamic like for all of you guys that are training? It's a pretty good group. We got Sandberg, Perunovic, Pionk, Kepke, Wyatt Buckner from Hermantown too, Kobe Roth, Drew LeBlanc. We got just a lot of guys up there, a lot of other college guys too that just come back for the summer, and then we have 8 of us that stayed here too. So do you guys kind of have a routine together that you're doing? Is it everyone kind of doing their own thing? And how does those off-season workouts go? I would say for workouts, kind of, because some guys have summer jobs. Me, Joey, Aaron, and Zam all work the Hermantown summer camp. So we kind of got to work around that schedule a little bit. So we'd find ourselves sometimes working out up at Hermantown, and then so we'd work until 11:15, 11:30, and then we'd work out, and then everyone would kind of come up around 1 o'clock and get on the ice there. So everyone's workout was kind of on their own, not as much together, but on the ice we pretty much skated 3 or 4 times a week together. Yeah, you guys are kind of doing some scrimmages and such like that. Yeah, Derek Plant came out a couple times too to run us through some drills, so that was pretty fun. Skating up at Hermantown, you got a new up close. You guys were watching that construction every day out there, the new rink. First off, it was there. If anyone wants to read about it, Jamie Malcolm did a cool story during the summer about how they're able to keep the original rink going while they're working on the new one, which I'm sure all of you guys greatly appreciated up there. But what was it like watching the new place get built? Yeah, it's kind of weird, honestly. We a couple times we walked through it, just grabbed a hard hat and a vest, and Kenny Colquist has been really good to us all summer, and it just starts with Dave Huddle as well. They just grab a vest, grab a hard hat, and go walk through, check it out. Like it's a great community up there, and to get a new rink is going to be huge for the whole program. You guys offer any suggestions or anything while you're walking through there with the hard hats, or just a lot of, man, kids these days, they have it real nice compared to what we used to have in high school? A lot of questions. It's just about little traditions that Hermantown has, like all the banners, where all those going to go. And I'm sure they have a plan for all of it, and I'm super stoked to see it.
Anything that you've seen so far that you're really jealous of? That, man, I wish we had that.
They're gonna have a big screen, a big board,
video board,
video board that I think will be pretty cool.
Yeah, Rockridge has one of those. I see now. Not a lot of high schools have those, so that's what you're kind of jealous of, huh?
That'll be pretty cool.
You also attended the Pittsburgh Penguins camp with Zam this summer. But you were there as an undrafted free agent. Sam's a Penguins draft pick. What was that experience like? And I'm always curious with guys, like, how many other options did you have, and how'd you settle on the Penguins?
Yeah, I had one other option. I'll go to Colorado too, Avalanche. Okay. And I kind of just settled on that one just because that's what me and my advisor thought was best for just kind of, because I was going to go there last year as well, but I had wrist surgery. So I think we kind of had that commitment to him to kind of go to their camp.
Combat Yodam one.
And the experience was really cool. Obviously, being in an NHL camp is pretty cool and something you always kind of dreamed of doing. And just the experience of doing it, seeing all seeing their facilities and just seeing everything that they get and everything that they go through on a day-to-day basis was really cool to see and really informal as well.
Was it tough originally not being drafted? And I'm wondering how you feel now because you've had a pretty good first 2 seasons. I'd say your free agent stock is on the rise right now. You got the option to go wherever you want. Like, take me through that whole process and such.
Yeah, initially it was kind of a letdown because everyone wants to hear their name called on draft day. It's kind of what everyone plays for. But yeah, being a free agent, you can kind of choose where you want to go. I look at Neil Pionk. He wasn't drafted. He was able to pick where he wanted to go to put him in the best opportunity and the best spot for him to succeed at that level. Yeah,
you don't have to go through what Dom James. And granted, things are working out pretty well for Dom right now. A lot of us were kind of worried, not in the know of what was going on there, but he had to wait until August to go find. He had to wait a while to find that right fit. Have you and your agent been in contact? How are you handling that? Because I have to figure there's scouts and teams that are trying to reach out to you now during the season.
Yeah, it's not. I'm still only a sophomore, so there's still a lot of time left.
Neil was only a sophomore when he all of a sudden had guys lining up for him too.
So I don't know. I think it's more on them just kind of checking out different prospect pools and seeing what teams have what, and just kind of maybe starting to contact teams a little bit, just seeing if they're interested and seeing their levels of interest. And that's kind of it right now.
Has size ever been brought up to you as an issue as a defenseman? If you're a wing, people don't bring up that 5'9" size, but a 5'9" defenseman, that might scare teams off. How have you been able to kind of, I don't want to say overcome, but I'll overcome the perceptions of smaller defensemen?
Yeah, I think that's been a thing kind of my whole career is like, I don't want to say that's not the reason I got drafted, but that's probably part of it. But it's obviously tough being a smaller defenseman, but you just kind of got to find little tricks to use against bigger guys and, I don't know, just try to do your best in there.
Yeah, and you're not like the smallest defenseman. Jared Spurgeon, it's worked out for him.
Yeah.
He's 5'9", 165. What are you? You're listed at 5'9", 180. Is that about accurate?
I'm probably closer to 190 now.
I was going to say you put on some bulk in the summer there, but still 5'9".
Yeah,
but 5'9", 190. What do you feel? Give me the advantages of being a smaller defenseman. You mentioned Scott Perenovich. That's a guy who's also made a career. Heck, won a Hobie here in college. Give me the advantages of being a smaller defenseman as opposed to a bigger guy. Your defensive partner, Adam Kleber there, who I swear grew like 5 inches over the summer or something like that.
I think probably just the biggest thing is the mobility piece of it. Obviously, if you're bigger, you can't necessarily move as well. I mean, Klebs moves very well for being 6'6".
Yeah.
But I think, just the mobility piece of it, being able to be more offensive and just kind of not having to stay back and because you can't move as well.
What's that dynamic like between you and Klebs? I've mentioned the two of you kind of remind me a bit of the old Scott Perenovich, Nick Wolf combination out there. Scotty was a smaller defenseman, Nick a bigger physical guy. Cleves definitely can move, not as fast as you. That 2-on-1 you guys had the other night there. I know it was the end of his shift, but he was moving a little slow getting that down there, but it worked out pretty well. I think it threw guys off.
Yeah.
What's that relationship like, the two of you and that dynamic on the ice?
Yeah, I think it's a good balance. He likes to jump in the rush too at times, so we got to know that we can't have all 5 guys join in the rush when there's 2 of their guys back. But yeah, I think we do a good job of kind of balancing it out as well. Just one of us has always got to be back, and yeah, I think it's been working pretty well for us.
At any point in your hockey career, did anyone try and push you up to forward or wing or setter? Because it does seem like you do have the skill set that you could do that role if you wanted to.
I think kind of in squirts. I had my dad and I think I played center with with Max and Cade Kohansky, who's coming in next year.
Yeah,
and I think the next season, my dad and Derek Plant were like, "No, you're gonna go back on D, and it's just where you're gonna go." And then I think it was either Pee Wee's or Bantams. I got moved up to forward for 2 weeks because of injuries or something, and I don't think I scored a goal or at a point. And then the next game I went back on D, and I generated more on D than I ever did on forward. So I think from then it was kind of just, you're going to be a defenseman, and that's where you see the ice the best. And I'm glad that's where they put me.
Do you know how you originally ended up at defenseman? Was it something you wanted to do? Was it just where a coach put you?
I'm sure it had something to do with my dad being a defenseman too. So
okay,
that's probably where it all started.
Dad was a defenseman, so we're putting Ty back there.
Pretty much, probably.
Well.
The thought process.
What are the advantages offensively being a defenseman? The person you mentioned the vision. The person that comes to mind to me is Ashton Bell, who started out as a forward and then got moved back to defense. And same thing, her offense, she was pretty good offensively as a forward as well, but she flourished even more as a defenseman. She said, I can just see so much more back there. What are the advantages? Is it just being able to see the ice a lot more and having that much more room? Or
I think that's the biggest piece of it. And then the whole play is always in front of you. So you always see anything that's in front of you. If you only see 2 of their guys back and you're ahead of everyone else, then you're able to jump up in the play. But if you see 4 or 5 guys of their guys in front of you, then you kind of got to be more safe about it and realize you're not probably going to get the puck here, and more just stay back and let the forwards do their thing.
What advice would you have for younger kids growing up that maybe are being told, you're too small to play defense?
I would just say keep working hard. Obviously, you see guys like Neil, who's not the biggest, and Prunovich, who's not the biggest, having success in the NHL and at the professional ranks. And I think you just got to keep working hard and watching different guys that aren't the biggest in the NHL or even in college too, and just seeing what they do, seeing what works for them. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and don't worry about not being drafted. Those NHL scouts, dude,
Exactly.
They fall in love with those guys, the 6'5", 6'6".
If you're good enough, they'll find you.
They'll find you, yeah. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have more with Ty. You're listening to the Bulldog Insider podcast, brought to you by the News Tribune's limited podcast series, Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below.
You know the name, you've heard the song, you know the number. 29 men were lost when the Edmund Fitzgerald was overcome by the gales of November 50 years ago, but do you know the rest of the story? The Duluth News Tribune has been close to this story from the beginning, and now we're looking back as the world marks a half-century since the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. In this limited podcast, we will tell the story of the Fitzgerald from its launch to its loss, and we will also explore its legacy. Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below, will be released in 5 episodes this fall, starting October 13th and leading up to November 10th, 2025. Watch DuluthNewsTribune.com for articles, images, and videos that expand the story.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider podcast, brought to you by Edmund Fitzgerald, 50 Years Below. All 5 episodes are now available. The final episode, titled The Legend Lives On, explores the lasting legacy of the wreck and why it remains so significant 50 years later. You can listen to the entire series on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can support all of the Duluth News Tribune's podcasts by visiting duluthnewstribune.com. Subscribe and check out all the content we have there, including the new Bulldog Insider podcast bonus segment we just recorded during the break. It's our question of the week. This week's question touched on the topic of favorite and least favorite high school rinks. Check out our takes at duluthnewstribune.com. I want to get back to the success that you and the team are having here to start the season. You and many of your teammates, you talked about this. You guys committed to the Bulldogs after watching it win the back-to-back national championships. I think you had mentioned the last time you were on here, you were at both the wins at XL Energy Center, right?
Yep.
How old were you in 2011 when you were there with Dad?
6.
Yeah. Pretty young in a pretty raucous atmosphere there, huh?
Mm-hmm. I remember right when they scored, I jumped into my dad's arms. So.
Oh, yeah. What was your dad's reaction? Like, that was a huge moment for a lot of the guys who had been part of this program for so long.
It probably had to have been similar to mine. I don't really remember it a ton, but he must have been just as excited as I was.
Yeah. Does it feel now, again, you guys all committed, this program went to 4 straight Frozen Fours, back-to-back NCAA titles. Does it kind of feel like now you're living out that childhood dream?
I mean, yeah, just winning games here is fun. Seeing the crowd get on their feet at the end of the game is pretty surreal and something you can't really replicate. So, yeah, we just hope we can keep it going, and yeah, it's pretty much it.
Do you remember your first Bulldogs hockey game?
Had to have been in the deck. I think I always got scared when UMD scored because the horn was so loud. And then first one in Amsoil, I think I was at the first game when the glass broke.
Okay.
So that was my first memory at Amsoil.
So you still have memories of watching them play over at Deck Arena, huh?
Very vague, but the goal horn was one of the things that I remember the most.
Who were the players you grew up idolizing? Like, who were your favorite players?
Probably Falk and the Connollys.
Falk and the Connollys? Mm-hmm. Okay. What was your go-to order at the Amsoil Arena concession stands?
Nachos with jalapenos.
Nachos at jalapenos.
Mm-hmm. And then occasional ice cream.
And occasional ice cream. I was going to say, I feel like the favorite of when I ask guys who grew up around here, it's usually chicken tenders and then the ice cream.
Yeah.
Was there any that was at Amsoil? You don't remember what your go-to was at the deck?
I don't.
They didn't have as fancy concessions over there.
Yeah,
I'm assuming. We mentioned your dad, Greg, played for the Bulldogs in the 90s. He played with Zam and Max's dad, Derek. We kind of talked a little bit about that the last time you were on the podcast. This weekend, you went against another one of his former teammates, Brett Larson. Greg played with Chris Marinucci, who won a Hobie Baker. Like, your dad played with a lot of legends of this program. I think your dad would be considered maybe in that group of legends as well. He may not say that, but how well did you get to know? So you mentioned Derek was almost like another father figure to you, but I'm wondering, how well did you get to know, some of those former Bulldogs growing up through your dad?
I mean, not a ton, but more so now is there'll be just random guys coming to the games. You'd be like, yeah, I played with this guy, and you'd be like, oh, that's just cool to see that they're still coming out to support, and yeah, they're still reaching out to my dad and kind of talking to him about the season, the team, and yeah, I think that's cool. I never really got to meet a ton of guys, but yeah, just more so now, just seeing the importance of the Bulldog alumni coming to games and just still supporting it. What do
you feel you guys are able to learn from guys from those generations?
I think just stuff that they've gone through and stuff that they've seen. They played college hockey a long, long time ago, and it's a different game now, but it's still kind of the same concept. So just learning different things, seeing their experience that they've gone through, and just talking to them about what they've done and what they've seen.
Your dad was on the last Bulldogs team to win a regular season conference championship back in 1993. Since then, the program's won the 3 NCAA titles, been to 6 Frozen Fours. They've won 4 postseason conference titles. I'm wondering, for you and your class and you guys, where does winning a regular season conference title rank among the goals for you?
I think it's probably just another step in the right direction. We obviously want to win the regular season, the postseason, the NCHC, and then ultimately the NCAA championship. So I think it's just up there. Having a good regular season is going to put you in the right spot for playoffs and the regionals. So I think that's just the biggest thing. If we can start with that, then it'll set us up for success going forward.
Do you guys care about trying to end that drought? I feel like it's the only thing anyone ever brings up, but as the years have gone on, it seems to have become less and less important. It's the one thing Sandy hasn't done. But I remember asking a couple of the guys towards the end of I think it was going into that 1920 season that unfortunately got interrupted by COVID-19. What was the importance of winning a conference title? They didn't seem to care one bit. They were like, I don't know, ask St. Cloud and North Dakota how they feel about all their regular season conference titles. Like, all they cared about that year was three-peating and winning a national championship. And obviously they were chasing history and such. For you guys, does it matter? Does that streak matter at all? I
would say yes and no. I mean, you want to end the drought, you want to get it for the program, but we're ultimately looking to get the big one at the end of the season. So, I mean, it has set us up for success going into that one, but it's not the end all be all.
All right. I'm going to get to some listener questions here. Duluth Bulldogs Hockey Town USA on Twitter wants to know why number 2?
I think that just goes back to my dad. My dad wore 2, I think his freshman year, and then changed to 22 after that. And I've been 2 ever since, I think, my sophomore year of high school. So that's kind of just been my number.
You went with number 2 because that was his original number. Mm-hmm. Bruce Siski appreciates you not, and Zach Schneider appreciates you not changing numbers.
Yeah, I like the single digits more than the double digits.
Like the single
especially
digits?
Especially as a defenseman, yeah.
Okay. John on Facebook. John always has a nice lead up to his questions here. Ty, UMD went from unranked to number 3 in the nation. Big leap, big expectations. What do you guys do mentally to stay hungry, stay grounded, and make sure the rankings don't distract from the mission of making a serious NCAA tournament run?
I think it's just continue to do what we've been doing. We have a very competitive group, and we've had a lot of guys that haven't had success at Duluth, so kind of just still feeling like underdogs going into every game is the kind of motto we're going after. And I think we've done a good job with it, staying competitive, staying together as a group. And I think that's just the biggest thing, is trying to be as competitive as possible, and it's going to give you a chance every night.
Is there a guy on this team who's like the rankings nut guru, who's, whether it's calculating what's going on in the human polls, or someone who's calculating, all right, we got to do this because it's going to impact how we do in the used to be the pairwise, now it's the MPI. Is there that one rankings?
Probably not. I mean, we're all looking at scores of other teams that we've beat because we know that'll help us going forward, but it's not really that much of a big deal to us. We're just trying to kind of stay level-headed.
Cade via the email, if you could have one player join the current team who is not on the Bulldog roster, who would it be? And he's saying it could be a former Bulldog or a player from high school.
Ooh. Do I get a time frame?
He didn't put a time frame on.
I'm just going to give it to Dom James. Just because last year he was a big part of our team. He was a captain of our team. Kind of sucks the way he went out, and I think he would do anything to put a Bulldog jersey back on, so I'll give it to him.
Did you talk to him in the fall, like when he hadn't signed with anyone yet? Say, Dom, technically you got a year of eligibility left.
Yeah.
There's all these guys from the ECHL and AHL coming back now, Dom.
I think he was ready for the next step.
He was done with college. But
I think it would have been great to see him put a Bulldog jersey on and have him in the room when we're having this success as well. Yeah. Some quick hits here. We've heard, and we brought up press conference, you have a reputation for dad jokes in the house. We heard the one about finding things. Mm-hmm. Can we get another dad joke from you? What else is in your repertoire? I pull the old classic out of my kid all the time where he's like, Dad, I'm full. And I go, oh, hi, full. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I go with that one a couple times. I haven't been ripping them off as much recently. Yeah. I can't really think of one on the top of my head right now. What was your dad's go-to dad joke? Did he have a go-to one growing up? He actually just brought this one out, I think, a couple weeks ago. He's always be good or be good at it. Okay. So it's either something like that. Just, I could be going out to a friend's house when I'm 13 and he'd just be like, be good or be good at it. And just kind of something he's always said to me. Was he the inspiration for your dad jokes, or where'd you get him? He's not a big dad joke guy. Not a big dad joke guy. Okay. It's not like you inherited all these from him or anything. I think it's like just inheriting them from other guys I've played with. And I did find out the other day from my son who's 7 when he said, that's a dad joke. And I thought it was a compliment. My wife pointed out, no, he's ripping you right now. Yeah. He means that's a bad joke. Dad joke is bad joke. So I didn't appreciate that. What was your favorite outdoor rink, ODR, to skate on as a kid? Got to be Hermantown.
The Hermantown ones?
All of them up there, yeah. Just walking over from school, there's just so many memories out there, and I think that's just got to be number one.
You didn't have a friend or buddy that had a good one, or was it not necessary because you had those?
It wasn't really necessary. The one year we skated on Pike Lake for a couple weeks when there wasn't any rinks open, so that was cool and something I'll always remember, being able to skate across the full rink, skate across the full lake. I mean, but other than that, there isn't really one that sticks out.
Okay. How close did you live to the rinks? Did your parents have to drop you off?
Yeah,
Were you able
10 minutes.
10-minute drive there? Build me we're getting close to ODR season here. I feel like everyone's probably starting to get ready. Actually, it might be cold enough people could start flooding. Build me your dream ODR. What are 3 things besides ice and nets? 3 things a dream ODR should have.
Lights. That's a big one. Fence, like glass instead of actual glass. And then pucks. Pucks are always sometimes hard to come by.
Okay, give me something a little more. I should have thrown pucks in there as well. The lights is a good...
Lights in the fence, I think, is... And then we'll go with a shovel.
Shovel?
To shovel a lot of snow if you get it.
Shovel. Okay. Let's get some more into some high school hockey here before we close it out. Section 7A this year. Is high school hockey smack talk, that's still heat up?
Yeah, we don't really got any other guys from the north, so it's kind of just Hermantown around here. So
I was going to say, like, how is that? There's so many Hermantown guys. You guys are running out of people to challenge you. There, you got a couple guys from the Twin Cities and such, but like Klebes left high school early and stuff like that.
I'll always talk to Harper Bentz when Hermantown's playing Moorhead, so there gets a little smack there, but yeah.
Is the rivalry bigger between like the northern schools than like north versus south, or?
I'd probably say so, yeah.
Okay.
Probably north versus north versus
north versus north. Okay. All right. I'm going to have you in the preseason here rank the Section 7A teams this year. I'm going to run through who's in there right now because it changes. Cloquet, Ely, Greenway, Hermantown, Hibbing, International Falls, North Shore, Moose Lake, and Proctor. Side note, I wish Denfeld and Marshall would come back to A. Come back to A, guys. I don't know. Rockridge, should that be A or double A? It'd be fun to have them in single A.
It would be fun.
It'd be fun to just bulk up single. Let's single A, 7A
could be the conference or the section.
The section in the state, right? Like that could be the state tournament right there.
Yeah.
So who's your top team you think this year?
Hermantown.
You're still, because I'm seeing a lot of talk about Hibbing out there right now.
Skating with them this summer, kind of 3 days a week, is just watching like what they can do and who they have coming back, and their goaltending I think will be one of the best in the state.
What's it like skating with the high school kids now as an older guy?
It's fun. Obviously they kind of joke with you. You get to joke with them a little bit too. I mean, I was sitting on the bench before warm-ups and I saw a group of them walk in and was able to wave to them too. So it's fun being able to have a relationship with younger guys from Hermantown and just kind of talk to them if they ever need anything.
Who's your number 2?
I'll go Hibbing.
All right. Coach would not be happy if you didn't have them up there. They're too high.
Yeah.
Who else is challenging in there? Who you got number?
Cloquet
at 3. We'll just go top 5. I won't make you say who's going to be the worst.
Who else is in it?
You haven't ranked Ely, Greenway, North Shore, Moose Lake, and Proctor.
Proctor's got to be in there. They always somehow find a way to make it to Amsoil.
They got that beautiful rink.
Yeah, I'll get to I Falls.
I Falls is gonna make a comeback. They were a power way back in the day. I'm sure Billy Watson's got stories about them. All right, last one. I Falls, I think, used to play a ton of Canadian teams back in the day there. Dream NLI deal as a student athlete at UMD.
Got to be a car. Some North Star Ford, maybe. They just built the new arena in Hermantown, so maybe something with them.
Would you let them like put a big advertising wrapper and everything around it as well? Whatever they want to put on it.
Yeah, why not?
Dream car. What's the car? What would be the?
Probably like a Raptor or a Bronco.
Raptor or a Bronco. Okay, the Raptor would be nice. But then you're gonna get asked favors.
Yeah,
if you have a big truck like that, everyone's gonna be like, Ty's got a big truck. We can call him and he can help us move in time.
That's usually for Zam. He's got a truck too. So
that's the guy who gets, but there's been a lot of dead animals in the back of that truck, right?
Yeah, there has been. And it's usually not the cleanest.
And it's not the cleanest. All right. We will wrap it up there. Ty, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You can find more episodes of the Bulldog Insider podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Like us, subscribe, and rate us. For more Bulldogs hockey coverage, visit DuluthNewsTribune.com/Bulldog Insider. Subscribe to gain access to all of our coverage all season long. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thank you all for listening. We will catch you next week.